Hello everybody, and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Welcome, Amiibo. It's the day after Jeremiah left. I almost don't want to read his letter. I'm sad. It's also the day after my 500 sub special. For my friend, the fact I'm moving today puts butterflies in my stomach. Maybe the reason I'm craving sweets. Before I go, here's a picture to remember me by. Well, we were best friends with Jeremiah. Bam. From Bella. My trendy pal Steven. In my own fave collection, I found the perfect thing for you. Like it? Of course you do. Let's go out and establish ourselves as top fashion superstars in town. Okay. So this will be a shirt. What is it? A swell shirt. Well, I think that just looks swell. It really doesn't. But it's kind of better than the tank top I was wearing, so, you know. Now, I need to actually put that tank top away. So let me see if I can find an empty spot in here to put it away. Hopefully I've got one here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, I'm also going to put Jeremiah's pick in here. Is this right platform? I can sell that. Okay, so today is Sunday, so that means turnips. After last week's amazing profits, I almost want to play it safe this week, because I don't overly trust that I'll get a good price. Hello, Sky. Good morning, S-Spot. What's on your mind? I want to chat. Try to keep the area of my house well maintained. After all, it's a reflection of myself. I mean, I think I do more for maintaining your house than you do, but, you know. Okay, so Joan, what's the damage? Lost item. She's been selling turnips for about 60 years. The asking price is 107. Okay. I am buying. I could buy 1,000 right now. Now let's go put those away. Do I have room to pick up this lost item? I do not. So I just have to remember that's there. But yeah, I hope a lot of you got to tune in for the live stream of the 500 sub special. If you didn't and you don't feel like watching the whole live stream, as you saw, there was a condensed version uploaded yesterday. I might do that again in the future. I definitely, if I do it again in the future, I want to actually have something in mind planned to do. Because, like, just going in blind, there was, I mean, that stream was 2 hours, the video was 50 minutes. So, you know, there was definitely a lot I could have cut out of, like, what I said. You know, a lot of dead space, a lot of conversations that just didn't go anywhere, you know. Lost item. Maybe I should look for the owner. Or maybe I shouldn't. Hey, Sky. Do you drop a book? I could help you. Drop something. Sorry, this isn't mine. I'm sure you'll find the owner if you keep asking around. Sure I will. Maybe. I hope. I don't really want to have to come back later just to try to find the owner of a lost item. So I'm hoping whoever it belongs to is awake. I mean, I can come back later, but I may not record that. Because, like, just having that in my inventory is going to be so annoying, though. But, yeah. Last night was a lot of fun. Last night for me, yesterday for you get 2 nights. Time is an illusion. That is something I kept in a lot of my ramblings. It's just time is an illusion for me. Like, at this point, with how many days I've been doing this series, like, I feel like it's decently understandable why time is basically just an illusion to me. Because, like, for over 150 days now, over 160 actually, 161 today, I've been doing things a day ahead of time. You know, like, the entirety of this year, I've been a day ahead. So, we have a rare queen. You're not allowed to sell my girlfriend. What are you talking about? And our tire toy is completed. Okay, I don't remember if I, Okay, it's not the money rock anyway. So, like, that's where, like, a lot of my confusion around the days comes in. It doesn't help that, like, when you're unemployed and not going to school, days literally are all the same. Like, there is no difference to me between Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Like, they're all just a day. Yee. I wish this could have been more centered, but it being too wide kind of made that impossible, but... Money rock. Ooh, lucky day with the money rock, too. I think that's our sign to buy a lot of turnips. The game wants me buying a lot of turnips. Because, I mean, it just gave me a double money rock, so... I think the park is coming along, like, amazingly. Like, it's so good. And now we don't need to worry about a villager moving in up here either, and ruining the park, because, like, it's done. Like, well, it's not quite done. There is one more project to set up, and I'll be setting that up today. Hello, Carlos. So you have a right platform. I want to be the owner. Can we do a trade? It's not good enough yet, but I give you my spade tea. Sure. I like spades. You know, until I get the boss blind to that debuffs all spades. Then I don't like spades. But that's where having half hearts comes in. Balatro references. And also, for those wondering that were at my stream and also watched yesterday's video, wondering why there isn't a face cam today, I'm waiting for more feedback. So, like, if you've already given me feedback, you don't need to give it again. I know your feedback on it. I just want more before I, like, commit to using the face cam. Because, like, in my mind, it's too big. Like, it fills up too much space. But there's really nowhere I could put it that it wouldn't take up that much space. And, like, at least still look good. Like, I'm just trying to make the viewing experience good for you guys. And some of my own personal taste is coming in of, like, I feel like this is a normal thing. And, like, this may sound depressing if it's not a normal thing. I don't like seeing myself. So, like, I don't think I look good at all. Especially, like, I don't like seeing how I talk. Because I feel like I talk weird. That's a little annoying. I kind of wanted that. I could have had that. Because, like, that was money. I forgot to... I do want to say, and this is actually something I can ramble about that's not one of my usual topics to ramble about. How exciting. So anyone that's looked through the playlists on my channel would know I used to play EVE Online. I still have a soft spot for EVE Online. I've considered going back to EVE Online a few times over the years, especially now that, like, I have the income I could pay the subscription. Did you drop this? But a lot of the updates that have been coming out lately have not been encouraging. Like, one of the most recent changes they're doing is a change to... Okay, this is going to take a bit of explaining. So, in EVE Online, there's 4 types of space. There is high security space, where there is an in-game police force that basically, if you do a criminal act, they will attack and destroy your ship. Having your ship destroyed is a permanent loss. That exact ship is gone forever. You can buy another copy of that ship, but it's not the same ship. There is low security space, where there is no NPC police force, but there is, like, occasional security turrets that can be a bit annoying to deal with, but ultimately aren't a big issue. There is null security space, where there is no NPC security presence whatsoever, and the only security comes from what the players themselves do. And then there is wormhole space, which is like nullsec, but worse. It basically has all the downsides of nullsec with none of the upsides of nullsec. It's kind of just bad. Oh, there we meet again. We do Shrunk. I need to visit Shrunk more. I'll have my coffee. But for a alliance, which is a group of guilds called corporations, to own a sector of nullsec, which you can own, they need to place down a territorial claim unit and an infrastructure hub. Well, the developers are combining these structures into one thing. And buffing them. And these structures were already kind of ludicrous. Like, for fighting NPCs, you make money. Standard MMO fare. Destroying an NPC gives you money, called a bounty. Now, the NPCs in nullsec, because it's considered dangerous space, have generally the highest bounty payouts, and are supposed to be the hardest. They're not. So, one of the ways that people basically print in-game money is running these null security combat sites, which have a lot of NPCs in them for you to go in, shoot up, and make a lot of money. I think the last rates I saw when I lived in nullsec in EVE Online was like a fresh noob could be pulling about 15 mil per 20 minutes. So almost a mil a minute. Which may sound like a lot. It kinda is, but kinda isn't. It is when you consider that the ship that this absolute new player is flying, the ship, the hull, the fit, everything about it costs about 13 mil. One combat site, well, more or less one bounty payout, and they've repaid their ship. Someone with a bit higher skills, running more expensive ships, can push, 20, 30, 40, 50 mil per 20 minutes. Now, this has absolutely ruined the economy. Combat sites didn't used to be something you could just farm. But the iHub, or, made it possible, or the infrastructure hub, made it possible to farm combat sites. Thus destroying the economy of the game. The only thing that kept inflation kind of in check was that you couldn't exactly guarantee you would be getting good combat sites out of your industrial hub spawns. Or infrastructure hub. Yeah, that's going to be changing. you'll be able to literally have your new structure, which, need I remind you, does both things. So it saves on costs for the nullsec groups. You'll be able to set it up in such a way that it will only spawn the high-value sites, or only spawn low-value sites. So in other words, they've made it easier for the already richest players to get even richer. Instead of doing what the players have actually been asking for, which is nerf the income of null security space. So that, you know, other people have a chance to compete. Because, like, given the nature of EVE Online, nullsec is the safest space. Did you drop something, Mott? Please tell me you dropped this so I can buy turnips. Yeah, of course you never owned a book. Why am I not shocked that you've never owned a book, Mott, even though you have plenty of books? Bugger. I don't think we have any other animals that are awake. Though there might be one at the Nooklings. I'm gonna give a look around. Yeah, Rooney wouldn't be awake. We have a lot of grumpy villagers, and that's kind of the problem. Yeah, no one else is awake. Or at least if they are awake, no one else is home. I'm gonna have to come back later. I don't really want to come back later. I might just trash the lost item. I feel bad about that, but like... I'll check TNT Emporium to see if there's any of our villagers in here. But yeah, like, null security space in EVE is the safest space because it's protected by players. Meaning it can have active protection. Did you drop a book, Gabby? Please tell me this is yours. You're the only other villager awake. Yeah, it must belong to someone. I guess I'll check the other floors to see if there's anyone else in here. Low security space, players can do, you know, some things to protect it, but not really. Because, like, okay, there is a mechanic in EVE Online called, sinosaural fields. Basically, that creates a beacon that you can jump to from basically a Titan, which is one of the biggest ships in the game. They can create a jump bridge to a sinosaural field. So basically, you can just jump to anywhere within the range of this Titan. And the Titan itself can also make that jump. The buttons are right next to each other. Sometimes the Titan accidentally clicks jump instead of bridge. And then suddenly there's just a Titan there, and they didn't intend the Titan to be there, and the Titan dies. As everyone panics, and probably laughs at the Titan pilot. I'm gonna check the museum. Maybe there's a villager in there. Maybe. I hope. But in nullsec, you can jam sinosaural fields. You can prevent them from being activated. Lowsec, you can't. Meaning, as much as players can try to police lowsec themselves and create secure areas and defend themselves, they really can't. Because you can't prevent sinosaural fields. Meaning, anyone with a fleet and a Titan close enough can just drop a fleet on you at a moment's notice, and there's not a huge amount you can do to stop it. You can also use in nullsec a warp interdiction bubble, which prevents ships from warping away, which also you cannot do in lowsec Meaning it's a lot harder to prevent ships from passing through your picket lines and getting to your, your PvE players. It's like, you really can't secure low sec. You just can't do it. You can secure null sec. High sec, like, there's players everywhere, and any one of them could at any moment shoot you, and you have no warning. It is probably the most dangerous sector of space, even though it is the most punishing if you were to commit a quote-unquote criminal act. It really doesn't matter. Because, like, it just doesn't matter. Whoever is attacking your ship has probably planned for Concord to kill them. Like, that's the thing. I have hiccups. So, like, high sec is just the most dangerous. And yet, null sec earns the most money. I won't even speak to wormhole space because in theory, wormhole space is very lucrative. In practice, it's not as lucrative as nullsec, but has all of the same weaknesses of nullsec. Like, there is absolutely no security whatsoever. Only with wormhole space, the entrance to your system that you're in changes every 20 or so minutes, as the wormhole to enter your wormhole system moves. It'll close and reopen, which means at any moment your wormhole could have an entrance into somewhere you really don't want it to have an entrance to. So you need to be actively monitoring where your wormhole exits out to, or you could wake up to having all of your stuff destroyed, and nothing you could do about it. Wait, there was still paintings. I didn't check paintings, and now that I've left the museum, any villager in there is going to have moved. I'll just check back later. Nah. But, like, nullsec makes the most ISK, has the most benefits, has the most resources, has basically the most everything. Low sec is basically high sec minus Concord, and high sec is just kind of garbage. And this is, at this point, pretty much by design. Ooh, Bella's awake. Ew, I can't believe I had a flea on me. I'll be itching all week. Promise not to tell anybody. It's so embarrassing. I will not tell anybody. Hello, Bella. Please tell me you dropped this book. So you today, hon. What do you want to talk about? Did you lose this book? Please tell me you lost this book. Book. It's someone who's still asleep. I wonder if that was there yesterday. I now need to make some space. I don't want to just, like, throw the book away. I'll probably just play the game in my own time later and find who owns the book. I need to sell this flea. And also decide what I want to do for turnips. Because I could buy another 1,000. I don't remember how much I have in my bank right now, but I know it's a lot. I kind of want to go all in and buy 4,000 again. Oh, I can't. Joan, give me another 1,000, girl. But yeah, like, another thing that CCP is doing, the developers of EVE Online, is they're reintroducing a mechanic that they removed because they basically deemed it too overpowered and moved it onto a much more expensive structure. They're now bringing it back, but for a different mechanic. So, way back in the day, back in my day, you used to be able to set a POS, or POS, or player-owned station, up next to a moon. You could then put a resource extractor on that POS, which would be outside of the POS, and basically would it would harvest materials from the moon, and then you basically just got free materials. You could then do reactions in your POS, and then basically via those reactions you could make valuable materials that were needed for constructing various ships and equipment, and they were very valuable, and if you knew what you were doing, you could make a lot of money by generating resources. And basically, all you had to do was make sure that your operating costs did not exceed what you were bringing in. EVE Online is not called Spreadsheets in Space for no reason. It's a lot of management, it's a lot of numbers, it's a lot of, it's a lot of nerding. But that got removed because in CCP's opinion, it was basically too easy to make money. I might get a little more money. So they basically tied it to a... And also they were using the argument of, oh, well, POSs are out of date, and the code behind them is so spaghetti that they can't do anything they want to do with them. Yet the only thing they did with their new Upwell structures was take everything a POS does and make it more expensive. Basically hurting the little guy and not having really any impact at all on the big guys. I personally still feel what they should have done is kept POSs the way they were and just simply added their Upwell structures and made them better at doing these things than a POS was. That would have, been the best solution for everybody, not just the big alliances. But if they had done that, then, they probably wouldn't have had a mass exodus of players. No joke, they had a really big exodus of players when the Upwell structures first started being forced upon everybody. And I can't blame people. Like, my corp that I ran used to have 3 moons that we had POSs around. 2 small POSs and 1 large POS. The small POSs were there just for harvesting materials from the moon. Like, that's all they were there for. They made money by harvesting materials. That was their goal. That was their purpose. They basically funded our ship replacement program on their own. The large POS was doing reactions and making a good amount of money while doing it. That basically solidified our ship replacement program. To accomplish the same thing that those 3 POSs did, and altogether, all 3 of them were worth less than 1 billion ISK, which is the in-game currency. I would need 3 Upwell structures, all of which cost about 1 billion ISK on their own. And instead of moon mining being passive, it's now an active thing you need to do. It's no longer a passive thing. You have to actively harvest those resources, and they're on a timer that anyone can see, and this has to be done in low security space where there's nothing... You're seeing the problem, I hope. It doesn't have to be done in low security space. It can be done in nullsec. So the null alliances can still moon mine, no problem, and they get really good extra resources while they're doing it. Everyone else gets to go fump themselves. Can you tell roughly when I got disenchanted with EVE? And like, I still love the idea of the game. I really wish there was a game that was EVE Online, but not EVE Online. And not Star Citizen. Like, quite honestly, I'd love the EVE Online concept, but like, with naval ships. Like, Age of Sail naval ships. That'd be really cool. And there's a game that tried doing that. It just didn't do it well. I don't even remember the name of the game. I'm gonna actually check this now. Because I can. Naval Action. Wow, it's apparently free now. Yeah, they have massively pissed everybody off. Um, I mean, I already didn't like their games, so I mean, I'd actually had it on my ignored list because of like, they just kept screwing over their games so much. But like, it conceptually was so close to being EVE Online, but naval ships. Except you never actually lost anything, from what I understand, other than like, if you got raided, you'd lose like your trade goods or stuff, but like, I know I'm also weird and in the minority by liking the EVE Online style of game, but like, I just liked it. I still kind of want to go back to it. Depending on how integrated EVE Vanguard is into EVE Online itself, I might get back into EVE Online just because of how, if it's integrated, like fully integrated like Dust was. I don't know. I'm just walking circles now. I'm going to find who owns this lost item off screen, and I might include it as a cutaway. I might not. I don't know. It'll depend on if I feel like recording it later. But yeah. That's going to be it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo. See you all then.